You're listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast.
We're very serious crafters.
And we craft very serious crafts.
Very serious. Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of the Very Serious Crafts podcast. I'm Haley from Red Handled Scissors.
I'm Heidi from Hands Occupied.
And I'm Mollie from Wild Olive. Today we'll be talking about giant weaving, head sizes, and geeked out embroidery.
Of course we are.
Exactly.
Yep, because all of those things make complete sense.
I think they do in my world.
Aggressively normal, the Very Serious Craft story.
Speaking of aggressively normal, my love for organizing, it is definitely aggressively normal. So I organized my elastics. What?
I said it's at least half of that. I would tend to it's aggressive more than normal, but you do you.
That's very fair. That is very fair. So I organized my elastics and bindings this week, and there was an initial container that then turned into a container in a bag, and then a container in a bag in a box. And so it had been spreading for several years. And so I finally went through it and got rid of all of the fold over elastic that I'm unclear why I was keeping it, but it was definitely not in colors that I use. And I have now gotten everything all sorted into this tiered container that now fits in a 1 foot by 1 foot section on my shelf. And I feel just utterly flooded with calm and joy every time I look at that 1 foot by 1 foot section of my shelf. So
Ting!
That's exciting.
Ting!
Yeah, exactly. There's this whoa happening. It's beautiful.
I love that.
Excellent.
Yep. It sings. It definitely sings.
Yeah.
I just picture you staring at that space, kind of like how, a cat will stare at the dust in the air a little bit, but when you need to
You
just
mean the
zone
ghost?
out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That is pretty much what happens. I've been every time I need some comfort, I've been turning and being oh, but that's orderly and predictable and nice.
Yeah.
Everything's visible and folded so well.
You're definitely the crafty Marie Kondo.
Oh my gosh. Except she is on the good drugs, and I am a lot crankier. Although, in all fairness, I have been watching that show, which is maybe why I'm feeling like I'm flitting around with fairy wings while doing this. I don't know.
Yeah, she's so beautiful, and inside and out, I feel.
Oh, she's a delight.
Yeah, she never seems to she never says anything judgmental about people. She never anything that comes across as salty isn't
Yep.
You know what I mean? I just find her utterly charming. I want to join whatever cult she
starts. I also find her. Yes. Well, I think that we generally speaking, at least all the white women in Brooklyn have already joined that cult. So I assume that it's in Chicago as well.
Probably.
Yes, but no, she is a delight.
Yes.
I'm sure that she has her private moments of not sparkly like we all do, but gosh, she makes my day better when I watch that show.
Yeah, and she's a mother of 2 toddlers and is still a delight.
Ooh. Right?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
so this dovetail nicely with my initial comments, actually, because in the last, last recording, I was talking about feeling really anxious and feeling just excited that I might finally just be past this plug of anxiety that's just kind of coincidentally happened in my life. My roof's getting inspected, things are starting to get fixed, I've caught up on my accounting, stuff like that. And so between getting
Which matters.
Yeah. Between getting moved into the studio and having the space physically and also mentally to get everything organized and actually kind of doing the condo thing and like by moving my studio, laying my hands on every single piece of stuff and remembering what I have and really reflecting on what I need and don't need in my life, that it's been just this tremendous unburdening in the last week or two. And it's really nice. It's a nice change. And
are you two flying around with fairy wings?
Almost. I haven't quite gotten all of my anxiety out of my system. Because it takes time. But like
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah. And so it's nice. What do you have going, Mollie, that's so nice?
Well, I yesterday had a tweet from someone named Jen. Hello, Jen.
Hey,
who listens to the podcast, and she told me that she was walking through the craft department at Walmart, which made me also think at some point I kind of want to like just talk about the craft department at Walmart because that's a thing. But anyway,
oh yes.
But she saw a punch needle kit there, which you know it's a big thing when it's at Walmart, or maybe it's about to not be a big thing. I'm not sure, but we're gonna set that aside. And she said, and I thought of you guys on the podcast because I saw a punch needle at Walmart.
Aw. It's kind of sad that we as a group are known for a thing that
that we barely do,
that we've struggled with. Well, right, that is not the thing that we do.
I know,
but we can't shut up about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
think that's fine.
Goodness.
It's mesmerizing. I love it.
Yeah. It is. And I need to work on that kit that I got from Fancy Tiger Crafts right before the holidays. It's just been sitting on my desk in a cardboard box. I've been like, oh, when I have time to just enjoy myself. Ugh.
That's not a thing.
That way lies
not
never
real.
getting it done.
That's not real.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have worked on the kit that was given to me, and so I felt like I've made steps forward, but it's not finished yet.
Nice.
It's not finished yet.
Yeah.
It's small, but it's not finished yet.
Well,
anyway.
But it's looking good.
Thank you.
And even.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just yesterday I wrote my blog post that went up as of today's recording was a roundup of like 12 of my favorite punch needle projects that I'd found on Instagram. And it was so fun like digging into each of these artists' websites because they all sell finished objects, but they're almost all like gallery level artists. And the level of like capital A art that's happening with this technique is what like gets me like really excited in my heart. I don't know if that's a little dramatic, but
that is it's so nice to see.
Yeah. It is. We're going down punch needle way more than I was anticipating in this conversation, but
I'm fine with it.
The thing that I really took notice of recently, which obviously I've noticed it, but I really noticed how because of the way that you like follow a line to do punch needle, and this happens with other embroidery too, but you can get like directional, almost brush stroke like effects with it that you don't always see with certain kinds of things. And it's really cool when that element is used for creating the art. It's not just about filling in a space. Like some of them, it's just fill it in.
Oh, yeah.
Others, it's like you're seeing the movement of it. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that reminds me a lot of like certain free motion quilting and stuff too that can make a quilt look like an oil painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I just saw this beautifully, beautifully done Ruth Bader Ginsburg quilt. Like it's a portrait quilt. And from a distance, like it's so skillfully both sewn and pieced and quilted, it looks like an oil painting. Like the texture.
Wow.
It's lovely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool
Yay,
stuff.
punch needle!
But so now that we've gone down yet another punch needle rabbit hole.
There are a lot of them. A lot of those rabbit holes.
Yeah. It's true. And I guess also a mind-blowing rabbit hole because that does tend to be how we get there. I want to tell you guys something that Heidi did that blew my mind. So when
I just remember
So when I was in Chicago with you guys, when we went to Mollie's local independent yarn store, we were wandering around and I was fondling fiber as one does and trying to decide what yardage I needed to make some hats because I was getting emergency yarn in case my flight did not leave from Chicago the next day. And I wanted to make sure that I had enough yarn to make a thing if I ended up stuck in the airport. And so Heidi, who has been deep in the charting and spreadsheets, asked me quite reasonably what size my head was. And I have known the answer to this many different times, but had not stored it, it would seem. And so I did not really, I was guessing. And Heidi's response, the answer, by the way, is right around 20 inches. Mm-hmm. But Heidi's response was, oh, then you need teen sizing. And there was just crickets while my brain exploded. Because, of course, that's a thing. And, I, as an Aspie adult woman with certain things ordered in certain ways in my brain, had myself as an adult woman in the adult women's sizing section. Mm-hmm. Now, we've all heard me talk about clothes. We all know that that's not the case in clothes, and yet. And so I just had this moment that continued thinking through it, why hasn't it ever occurred to me that I should actually look to see what size, that I shouldn't assume that a women's size would fit, that I don't probably need to go down a needle size or two. I could probably just knit things actually designed to be the right size. It was a whole thing. I mean, also a very duh moment. And so I finally started looking for teen-sized patterns on Ravelry when I got back to New York and found the Bosch hat that I talked about last time has two sizes. One of them is a smaller, teen-sized head size, and I think that it's smaller adult women and larger adult women. I think that was the sense. Design idea. Yeah. But all of a sudden, this whole new world has opened to me of actually not having to be worried as long as I hit gauge that a thing is going to fit. And I feel like a gigantic idiot and also utterly delighted. So thanks, Heidi, for blowing my mind in the middle of a yarn store.
Well, and in my defense, the only reason I know that is because my head is 20 3/4 inches. Because as we determined when we hung out in real life, as Haley and I stood next to each other, not only do we have similar voices and personal styles, I'm roughly 10 to 15% just bigger in all aspects than Haley. So I'm still neighborhood of petite, but very specifically just Haley scaled up just a teeny little bit and blonde.
I just bought a hat pattern and I'm measuring my head right now.
We have
do report back.
Yeah, Mollie's doing it right now. I should take a picture of this. This is funny.
I could not hear you because I was measuring my head, but I have a bigger head than you guys. I'm just gonna say that.
We have weirdly small heads though,
as do most adult women.
Yeah.
Okay, so the hat pattern that I just bought should fit me, I'm gonna assume, since I measured out at 22.5-ish.
That's much more much more typical.
That is the size that is supposed to, yes. And the size I have been knitting for, and then wondering why my hat has drooped over my eyes every time.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, and also the only reason I know about that hat sizing thing, too, is having designed a couple hats early on in my design career and realizing that I should have made bigger sizes, like much more of the thing. Like I learned that lesson the hard way. And now we'll never forget it.
Yeah, and I've designed hats too. I designed a pixie hat for adults because I was mad that I couldn't find one and I wanted one. And I can't remember. I think that I did a couple of sizes, the original design that fit me, and then a slightly larger design. And then people were mad that I didn't do a baby one. And I mean, honestly, there are a million of those on the internet. You don't need them from me.
Yeah.
But, so I think I sort of sidestepped that issue, which is maybe why I never really thought it through. But then later on, I was looking at, like, hat sizing charts on different knitting websites and was like, right.
Yeah. And you have to be careful. The last thing I'll say, because I'm, like, clearly the nerdy knit person who knows too much about, like, the minutia stuff.
Which is useful.
But always...
Since you designed them.
Right. But also, if dear listeners, always defer to the Craft Yarn Council's standards first, because there's a lot of websites that have great SEO and questionable standards for sizing. That's what I'll say.
True fact. True fact.
So.
And that, I do believe that is more or less where I found that information. But it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you broke my brain.
Yay! Or not yay.
I mean, I'm pretty pleased.
Okay, good.
But I had to roll my eyes at myself pretty hard. It's like, really? Stop being a robot. Stop it.
I think it can be useful, but I'm sure we'll unpack that.
Not in that area.
But yeah, so tiny heads and average size heads and inclusive heads and beautiful heads aside.
All heads are beautiful heads. They're perfect. Yeah. All of them.
Yes.
The thing I really wanted to talk about as like my first serious topic and non-rabbit hole punch needle topic on this episode was I discovered my new favorite magical place in Chicago for craft supplies this weekend. There's this place called the Wasteshed, and it's for local to Chicago people. It's not too far from Grand and Western, and it is. I had heard of the place when I was still working as a librarian because they do a lot of work with Chicago public school teachers and charter school teachers, getting them art supplies and school supplies for free. So like half-used highlighters that the thrift store won't take, they'll take, put them in a basket, and the teacher can just come show their ID and take it to go. Which is great because it's also nice. Actual recycling that's going to save the planet.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's local waste. So, like, it's all coming from people who live in the area and then going to kids in the community. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is my, like, moment of Pollyanna, and my moment of librarian nostalgia. But I think it would be really cool if a place like the Wasteshed existed in, like, every public library space. Like, just a little closet where you could go and get your, like, backpack of stuff for back to school. But always.
I mean, you would also get people bringing way too much crap.
Yeah.
Which is why they don't, I think, exist more. Because you'd get people like me who are like, I'm going to KonMari everything. And then show up with questionable. I'm about to cull my adhesives shelf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm positive that most of that stuff just needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't if I had a place to take it to.
Well, and I think they do get overwhelmed with donations sometimes. And so they have to, like, have limits on it. But they have everything from school supplies, but they also have a ton of fine art stuff. I really think that this is the place where a lot of people, you know, in season 1, we talked several times about inherited craft supplies. I think this is the place that a lot of those end up. Because there's some, they even have a bin of yarn babies, they call it, and it's just little scraps that are all like a dime. And so I took some of that stuff for weaving. They have a whole, like, 2 racks of fabric that have been donated, and it basically looks just like the remnant table at Joann's, and they've all been, like, folded and rubber banded in the yardage.
Wait, there's a remnant table at Joann's?
Yeah.
I guess not in any of the ones that I've seen.
And, so it's all, it's measured, it's, like, checked to make sure it's not gross.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, so they list the yardage and the fabric size.
Right.
And I got a pair of curtains off of the fabric rack. For $2 for the studio space.
Nice.
And I got yarn. I got some measuring and cutting tools that were basically brand new. Some books. Like,
wow.
I spent like $30. Actually, no, I only spent $10 because I had a gift certificate too. And I got so much stuff. But yeah, anyway, I could wax on about my utopian vision for Wasteshed style recycling in all of the world.
No, I think that would be lovely. I often wish that there were places that I could bring, things that you can't generally donate.
Yeah.
I mean, that are still perfectly useful.
Yep.
I feel like if I went to the Wasteshed, that would be dangerous because I would want to, like, find and rescue the things, and that's where I get into trouble.
Ooh, they had an entire bolt of camel fabric. Not just the color, the fiber.
Camel.
Like wool.
Oh! Wow.
I was thinking print.
Yeah,
okay.
And it was like it looked like it was dead stock because it said like 1994 when like that kind of fabric was extra trendy in like the high fashion world.
Yeah.
So that was just like sitting there, and if you were in fashion school or something, that would be pretty dope to get to work with.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, I could again go on forever about it.
I should probably come visit you sometime. We should go together. Could be fun. Well, I have been I've been a little bit lost in its own rabbit hole, which by the time this podcast airs, it will have already existed for at least, I think, 6 weeks or so. But there was a new meme account that was created on Instagram called Mostly Embroidery Memes. And I do want to just say this up front. This is, if we were to read some of these memes on the podcast, we would have to bleep some of them out. There is some strong language in a few of them.
Mollie would get her bleeping finger ready.
That's right.
It would. These are not safe for work often.
Yeah.
But they're really funny.
And
yes, very funny.
Yeah. And so and it's done by someone anonymously. Some of them are created by people who are willing to be tagged, but the person who runs it is anonymous, which is kind of actually fun. But and
I deeply want to know who they are, but they're being hilariously snarky about why they aren't telling anyone in their stories.
I know. So. Maybe it's you.
And I'm sure one of you knows.
I don't know.
And I promise I won't not one of you two, one of the listeners.
Okay.
And I promise I won't tell anyone. Just tell me. I'm really good at keeping secrets.
Part of me really,
I just need to know.
I have a thought and a suspicion, although sorry, I'm throwing my stuff around again.
Throw your knitting needles again.
It is. It's the knitting needle again. Anyway, I have a suspicion of who it is, although they've denied that that's who it is, but I don't believe them. Anyway.
Well, of course they have denied
that's right,
but
that's
we
what they
will
would do.
Allow them to continue denying
we'll let them,
without naming names.
But so one of the memes that I saw was is a Pingu meme, and it was really about like the frustration of learning new stitches. And I will let you go and find it for yourself. You might have to dig through a lot of memes, but it's worth it. It's funny.
And it would be worth it.
Yeah. But it got me thinking about learning new embroidery stitches and even learning new like knitting stitches. But I had a different thought on it because I love learning new stitches. And even if it takes a little bit of practice, digging into all of the different varieties of embroidery or different kinds of knit and crochet stitches, I think that's wonderful. My problem...
Oh, I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that there are so many things that you probably will never reach the end of it, especially because of regional
because
things.
You can make them up.
Yeah, and then you can make them up too, yeah. But it's extensive. I don't think that you can ever truly master all of these things to the point of just knowing it all. Like that's just not, there's not enough years in your life.
Yeah. You know what would be funny? To try to go through the Reader's Digest Guide to Needlework, one technique at a time, and see how long, like, a free idea, I guess, an Instagram account of daily going through page by page and trying the thing.
That's a really great idea.
I don't have time to do it, so somebody do it, and I will enjoy it vicariously.
Yes. But yeah, so the problem that I find, though, is so I learn the stitch, and then I can't figure out what to do with it. Because, I mean, I'm not ashamed of the fact that the embroidery patterns that I design specifically for the idea that if you can learn 3 stitches, you can embroider pretty much anything that I make.
Right.
And that's with purpose.
And that's nice.
Yeah. But the style of what I'm actually stitching does not always work for some more fancy stitches. I have, in the last, I guess it's going on 2 years now, I've been creating a monthly piece for Simply Sewing magazine where I teach a new stitch and then I show a project to use it with. So in one sense, I've found a way to kind of express those new stitches, but it's a big challenge for me. It is hard for me to find a way to use certain stitches in a way that looks like me, if you will.
Yeah.
Sure. And I just find that frustrating. I don't really have a point other than that, but
and I think one thing worth acknowledging to our listeners is, like, when you're a craft designer, like, visual branding is so much a part of the design process once you're a professional. And I always have really, really struggled with, like, creative ADD, for lack of a better term, and wanting to try so many different styles. And so it's really hard to make it, like you said, make it feel like you.
Yeah.
But like, growth can be sometimes stunted, I feel like, when there's a pressure to have this brand that also looks good on Instagram for 2019 purposes, you know?
Yeah, or looks consistent. Yeah. It's not even necessarily good.
Right.
It's that, like my personal style is quite modern and quite geometric. And so if I vary from that, like, I may be enjoying myself and people might like it, but it is not reflective of my body of work, and it's a thing that you have to be conscious of.
Yeah. And then that's where the line is between doing something for fun and something for work as a creative professional.
Right.
That's,
and then,
like, for me, that's the distinction.
Yeah. And then if I start bringing in different kinds of styles and techniques, which in this case would potentially be different embroidery stitches, because it really does have a different feeling to it. I'm more likely to, whether it's intentional or not, it's more likely to seem like I'm trying to be someone different, maybe even trying to copy someone else, which, full circle, comes up a lot in the embroidery memes.
A lot.
Like a lot.
Because it's so true.
But, and I could go down.
It's a fine line to walk.
It is. And yeah, I love learning new stuff. And then I'm like, how do I apply this now? And so I'm going to be working on that more,
funny.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to sort of dive headfirst into things that don't look like my usual aesthetic, strangely enough, because I have purchased a birthday gift for myself.
As you do.
On eBay.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
I do. And this particular birthday gift happens to be 2 vintage 1970s crewel embroidery pattern kits that are a Boston fern and an asparagus fern. And they were designed by Charlene, I'm not sure if it's Garish or Garish. I'm going to go with Garish because, well, it's just a guess. But so this woman, Charlene Garish, was a hugely prolific needlework, crewel, and I'm not sure if the cross-stitch designs that are similar are hers or just
copycat.
Or just, well, no, the same company.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I'm not sure if it was a stylistic choice on her part or a work for hire sort of thing.
Okay.
But this, both of these are Jiffy Stitchery patterns, and I think, both of them are copyright 1975. And I'm pretty sure that every child of like the late 70s, early 80s, either their mom had these or their grandmother had these. Or like someone in their family. This, because they were everywhere. And I will post photos in the show notes of what they are. But anyone who is not much younger than us will see them and go, oh, those.
Uh-huh.
And I've loved them for years, and they are labeled, which is a thing for me. I like things that are labeled with what they are. So they say asparagus fern and Boston fern below them. And they are hanging baskets that have not dissimilar to macrame 3D hangers, and some of the leaves are also it's like knotted 3D, and I love them, and I don't even love them as kitsch. Like, I love how they look. I am going to make them and hang them up. But and they are research for a project that I'm doing that is not unrelated, but these are just like little pieces of joy for myself, but they are not exactly, they're adjacent to my aesthetic, but not really there, and I intend to make them and post about them anyway. And I mean, since I didn't design them, it's a bit different, but they're amazing, and there are a bunch more of like the same hanging basket and labeled style.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I've found at least 3 or 4 more that she designed that are part of this set. Cool. Although the Boston fern and asparagus fern seem to be the most common, and they're the ones that I knew. But I'm about to have like an eBay problem. and they are, because they were everywhere. Yeah. They're sort of like Singer featherweights, only not as expensive. Yeah. That because 1,037,000 of them were made, you can still get them. Like, these 2 kits are new, unopened, in plastic still. Yeah. Yeah. And I just cannot wait.
I don't remember anyone in my life having those, like, making those and having them in their homes. But I am sure that even though it was probably the early to mid 80s, I'm sure that I saw them still on the shelves at like Frank's Nursery and Crafts. Do you guys remember that? Did you have that by you?
No. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I do remember.
That was the place to go for crafts. And even there were other craft stores.
I loved Frank's Nursery and Crafts. It had a yellow roof.
I loved it. But you remember, like, they would have aisles and aisles of, like, crafts kits and needlework kits, and sometimes I see a little bit of that come back, but it's very different now.
And macrame kits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm really, really excited, and looking at the back, like, the needle isn't rusted, so it's, like, everything is still fine. Yeah. And I cannot wait because it's so rare that someone like us who designs things for a living just gets to play. Yeah. And I cannot wait. And also, I love these. And I don't really care if, I think that one could frame them in a way that makes them look modern. And I Definitely. Just, like, I think they're great, and I'm super excited. So happy birthday to me a little late.
Yay. The other thing that I've been experimenting with more, especially considering like my arthritis situation that I've talked about a couple times. So it's been necessary for me to experiment with some different mediums to see how they affect my body, which isn't cooperating. Of course. Which is deeply frustrating, but I'm sure there are people who have many more challenges than I do in this department. So, like, positive thoughts to people with that, because this sucks and I'm just barely starting to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'm really...
Sure, but that doesn't mean that it isn't a struggle for you.
Right.
I mean, it sucks. It gets to.
Yeah. But the nice thing that I'm really on good days trying to like remind myself of is that I can do other things. And this might be a great opportunity that the universe is telling me to go crazy in a good way.
Like try whatever you want without boundaries.
Yeah. And feeling like this huge like release of pressure to release patterns constantly, which is very hard to do because it's time consuming to put out a good pattern. This month's like fun experiment has been weaving, which I've done before, but I'm spending more time doing it, and I'm doing it at a much larger scale. Thanks to the studio.
And not with twine, thank goodness.
Yes, not with twine. I won't even bother with that one. Thanks for doing that experiment for me, Haley's calloused fingers.
My fingers still aren't fun.
Oh man.
Anyway.
But I keep getting asked questions on Instagram about the loom I'm using because I DIY'd it. I made it myself. And it's not...
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's humongous. It's like 5 by 7 feet.
It looks like a harp.
It does.
Yeah.
Especially because... So, picture this in your mind, listeners. A big square of PVC pipe set so it can have some little legs so it can sit vertically so you can stand at it and work at it, which is also nice if you're needing to be in different positions if your body gets sore. And so this PVC pipe, I made the frame with just standard PVC pipe connectors. I think I used a 3/4 inch diameter pipe just from Home Depot. It took 2 pipes and then a bunch of connectors. And to cut it to size, you can do that at home if you have a hacksaw. You kind of just have to mark your line, ideally cut over a box because that like plastic sawdust, quote unquote, is a pain to clean up because it gets staticky.
Yes.
But I cut that.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. I cut that to size and then I reinforced the joints with Gorilla Glue, which is cool. But I made it so it could also be taken apart and stored vertically in a closet, which is nice too. So then I used the hacksaw again to cut little lines on just one side of the top and bottom piece of PVC pipe. So I kind of scored them with the hacksaw. And then I was able to wind the vertical strands of the weaving loom with fishing line secured in those ridges. So that's a little bit of detail, but it's because this is an audio podcast.
Yeah.
It's true.
But it describes it really well.
Yeah. And what's nice is, like, I also was able to get just some little skinny dowels from Home Depot to help with the tension. So you kind of weave the dowel between the fishing line to give yourself the right tension as you work. So even though this thing probably cost me, I don't know, neighborhood of $20-25 to make, because I already had the hacksaw, it's working really well. I think the only...
And it looks really good.
It looks kind of cool. The fishing line really adds to the harp effect. And we all, like, and it's so big that at, like, my craft nights in the studio, everybody who feels like it can, like, contribute a strip of ribbon or yarn to it, which is cool. So then when it's done, we'll have this, like, community-made thing.
Which is nice. Great. And it looks good. Like, it's, having watched it from nothing to its current status, like, it looks better than I would expect for random combinations of things.
Same.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
I mean, I feel like it could have gone very poorly, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Thanks.
Wait, that came out wrong. Sorry.
The one disclaimer I will give if anybody's, like, thinking about doing this for real, don't use fishing line for the vertical strings, because it's inherently pretty slippery, and it would have been better if I used, like, some leftover, like, sock yarn or, like, wool worsted weight yarn, so that the vertical strands...
Right, so it had some grip.
Yeah, so that the vertical strands had a little teeth to them, because that's been the big issue, is literally balancing fibers that want to slip off the fishing line and just the force of gravity with the slippery strings. That's probably the only fail.
See, you could use jute twine cord.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That would be very tempting.
I can tell you that it's quite grippy.
I also
It has teeth.
I wanted to ask how long are the legs or the feet at the base so that you have enough stability with it so it's not at risk of toppling over?
I ended up cutting, it's 3 feet on each side. And so I have like 2 little legs that they pop off. They're short pieces of 1 foot. I have 2 1-foot pieces and 2 2-foot pieces, which is nice because then I can have the shorter pieces closer to the wall if I want to work on the other side.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And those, I did Gorilla Glue the base together because that, when stuff twists and torques, can get messed up. But the tallest vertical and horizontal legs of the frame pop off.
Okay. That makes sense.
I've had a request for a blog post on this, and I should just do it.
Yeah, I think people will like that.
Easier said than done.
I know.
Right?
Anyway, that's enough rambling about my weird trash loom.
So
I mean, it's decidedly not a trash loom.
No, it's not.
It's reusable and elegant.
It's fantastic. Speaking of things that are elegant and amazing. So I saw this link from a woman on Instagram, Yamiel Anglada, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Her Instagram handle is at ANITONANYC. So she shared on Instagram this link to the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It is an embroidered computer. And we're not talking about embroidering a picture of a computer. This is an actual working computer. It's, fairly primitive when it comes to computers, but it is a functional piece of embroidery that can actually compute things. So,
it's conductive embroidery.
Exactly. Yeah. So it uses metal threads. They're all gold. There's glass and magnetic or metal beads and some magnetic pieces in there. And there's some video of it working. I don't know exactly what all it is actually computing, but it works. It's a programmable 8-bit computer, and you can see like items that move to like show what it is putting out there, what it is computing. And it's beautiful. Okay. It is. Yeah. Of course.
It's so beautiful.
It's all of these gold lines running across a stretched piece of fabric with all these little conductors. It's remarkable. And I thought that was where this would end.
It's like steampunk computer.
Yes, exactly.
It's beautiful.
And just even if it didn't do anything, looking at this as a piece of art is beautiful. But it actually works. Mm-hmm. And then...
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, well, that's the end of that. Until I started looking at some other things. This, by the way, this is on the website of ireneposh.net. And I'll have links to this in the show notes. But I started looking at a few of her other things that she links. She did this with other people, too. But then I went down a further thing, and I went to this website where this had been featured on at one point called stitchingworlds.net. Mm-hmm. So they've got the embroidered computer. They have a Monopoly game, which they call the Knitcoin edition. And when players need play money, they must knit it.
I love it.
Cool. But
that would be the slowest game of Monopoly that has ever occurred.
It looks like they're using I'm not sure, because elsewhere on this website they're showing using the paper cards that you would have had in old computers. They're using that the punch cards for a knitting machine. So I'm not sure if if you actually get to go and use the knitting machine to knit your money, that would be a little bit easier. But I was like, what? And then just because let's just blow my mind a little bit more. They have a thing called a yarn recorder. It is a device for recording and playing sound, which curiously utilizes spools of yarns and threads as the recording media. So the yarn actually has steel in it, and they can record onto the yarn.
Oh my goodness.
That's cool. Oh, so it must and I haven't seen this, but I'm guessing it must bend the steel yarn ever so slightly for different recordings in a similar way to like how music boxes work or something.
They don't show it. I have not seen it actually how it functions. It's a wooden box with the spools going, and there's a little, I assume almost like a needle that it runs through. I have not done the full deep dive into how this works, although it's a limited amount of info in there. But it's a spindle that it goes through. But like,
sure, that's really cool.
The person that thought, I wonder if we could make some yarn and then record something on it. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes complete sense. It's really easy to make a record. It's not really easy to make a record that lasts, but it's easy to make a record that will play, and it's easy to make a thing to play the record. So it makes complete sense to me. And I say easy, that's relative.
Right.
But that's cool.
So
I love
fun.
human brains.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that I will be losing many hours scouring over this website because it's basically like an almost like an art group, and they do events and stuff. I wish that I could go and see some of this stuff in person, but it's pretty cool.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Someday on a future episode, I'll have to talk about the person who knitted an entire short film frame by frame.
Wow. Like stop animation?
Yeah, it's basically stop motion animation, and it involves a knitting machine. But I know we're about to go a little long on this episode, so I'll save it.
Yeah. We can also...
Is it Andrew Salamoni?
Huh?
Is it Andrew Salamoni?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Because a friend of mine does similar things, and that is his name.
We'll find out. Let's jump into that at another point, because there's other things too. Yeah.
All right, so now that we have gone down the amazing electronics meets fiber rabbit hole, and we will almost certainly all continue to go further down said rabbit hole because Yarn Geeks, I guess we better wrap up this episode, guys.
Yes.
Sure.
Right. Well, it was lovely talking to you, ladies, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
This was fun.
All right. And if you guys have any exciting electronics that are embroidered or yarn related that you know about that we don't, please tell us about them, because we want more.
Yes,
we
please.
want to know.
Yes, please.
Well, we'll talk to you next time, ladies.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Bye, friends.
If you're a person who likes to hang out on the internet, you should hang out with us. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Serious Crafts, and on Facebook at Very Serious Crafts. You can also find show notes and all things Very Serious Crafts at veryseriouscrafts.com. Want to join the conversation? Tag us using hashtag Very Serious Crafts, which I know will come as a shock to all of you. And if you're using Instagram stories, don't forget to tag us with @SeriousCrafts so we can reshare. Are you a fan of the Very Serious Crafts podcast? Which presumably you are, since you are listening to this part of this particular episode. Great. Pretty please leave the Very Serious Crafts podcast a 5-star rating on whichever platform you use to listen to podcasts. Good ratings help us show up in recommendations, especially on iTunes, which helps more people who love crafting find us. And finally, if you'd like to sponsor an episode of the Very Serious Crafts podcast, visit veryseriouscrafts.com and click sponsor.